In recent weeks, Ukraine has carried out a series of covert attacks on strategically important oil refineries and oil storage facilities in Russia. Information about these operations was published on the Spy Dossier Telegram channel, which is close to the Russian army and special services. The details of these attacks have not been previously reported in the media, which emphasizes their significance and secrecy. In the Saratov region, the facilities of the Salut Federal State Budgetary Institution in Engels were attacked twice, on January the 8th and 14th. 2025. Salut is an oil storage facility serving the needs of the airfield. As a result of the attacks, 12 tanks with a total capacity of 60,000 cubic meters filled with aviation kerosene were damaged or destroyed. In addition, on January the 14th, the Saratov Oil Refinery was attacked, where an oil pumping overpass was damaged, which led to a product spill. On January the 15th, 2025, an attack was carried out on Voronezhnefteprodukt in the village of Staraya Pokrovka in the Voronezh Region. As a result, 4 tanks with a total capacity of 30,000 cubic meters filled with diesel fuel and gasoline were damaged or destroyed. On January the 17th, 2025, Voronezhnefteprodukt was attacked in the village of Lyudinovo in the Kaluga region, Russia. As a result of the attack, 4 tanks with a total capacity of 3,700 cubic meters filled with diesel fuel and gasoline were damaged or destroyed. Oil is seen as the mainstay of the Russian economy, so elements of the oil industry are obvious and symbolic targets. Unlike oil fields, which are vast with dispersed islands of equipment and located in remote Siberia, refineries appear to be a far more rewarding target. Refineries cost tens of billions of dollars to build. They are large targets and therefore hard to miss, and there is a lot of flammable and explosive matter, making substantial fire damage probable after the hit. There are also plenty of Russian refineries relatively close to Ukrainian territory. From the attack planner's standpoint, it would be ideal if Russia were not only to lose export volumes, but also experience difficulties in supplying enough fuel for its army and economy. Alas, that would require a very large-scale attack, as Russian refining capacity is 2.5 times bigger than its fuel consumption. The expectations of the benefits for Ukraine were probably vast, starting with an intangible one, demonstrating that Ukraine could target valuable industrial installations more than 1,000 miles from its territory, boosted Ukrainian morale and damaged Russia's. Many observers assumed that the imposed costs on Russia would be quite high, at least billions and more likely tens of billions of dollars. Russia has been steadily reducing the publicly available amount of data on its oil industry, making analysis of the attack's outcomes more difficult. Russian oil companies have not published much information on what exactly has been hit and how seriously. Any estimates are based on press reports and social media posts. Initial coverage reported that almost every targeted refinery had sustained some damage to some of its primary distillation units.
Ukrainian troops on the front lines have called for more weapons to help them fight back against advancing Russian forces in the Donetsk region. "We need more equipment, ammunition, support," Alexander, a battery commander in the 26th Artillery Brigade, said after helping prepare a Ukrainian howitzer to fire at Russian positions. "The situation is quite difficult. The enemy is accumulating its forces for further assaults and occupation of territories," he said. According to Associated Press, troops in the unit were preparing a Ukrainian 155mm self-propelled howitzer 2S-22 Bodana on Wednesday to strike Russian positions. The declared range is 42 kilometers for a conventional model and 60 kilometers for a rocket-assisted projectile, soldiers said. The youngest member of the brigade, a gunner, is 21 years old and has been at war for almost 3 years, according to howitzer commander Anatoly. "The guys here are such that they do not feel fear, they are real heroes," he said. "They are not afraid of anything." Meanwhile, in Davos in Switzerland, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenski met with leaders and officials in an effort to stir up support for Ukraine's fight against Russia. As he did so, US President Donald Trump threatened to impose stiff taxes, tariffs, and sanctions on Russia if an agreement isn't reached to end the war in Ukraine, a warning that is likely fall on deaf ears in the Kremlin. The United States already prohibits the import of virtually all Russian products, and Russia has faced a multitude of US and European sanctions since the invasion began almost 3 years ago.
Да, плюс розрахунок до бою. Арбата!
Які іскри сюди пішли, ти бачиш?
Самому меншому 21 рік, він вже 3 роки майже на війні, навідник. От. І хлопці теж такі, ну, взагалі страху взагалі не відчувається в них. Тобто такі, ну, герої настоящі, скажімо, не бояться нічого. Це озброєння НАТО, це натовські стандарти, і їх у всьому світі дуже багато. От, через то він для нас на даний час важливий. Наша Богданочка, Даніелочка зроблена 155-й калібр під натовський зразок. От, і ефективні, тому що. І різновидності багато.
Ще трошки! Стоп!
Ну, ситуація доволі тяжка. Противник накопичує свої сили для штурмів, подальших заняття території. Але працюємо, намагаємося як більше знищити противника. Ну, я думаю, потрібно більше техніки, боєприпасів, підтримки, щоб люди наші військові заморилися, вже багато дуже часу потратили, потрібно ротації проводити. Але ж всі розуміють, що для цього треба щось зробити і відновити якісь дії. Краще б, звичайно, щоб допомагали міжнародні країни, нам якусь давали підтримку, але своїми силами стараємося щось зробити.
Зараз на секунду підійдуть.
Та тут валяється.
Да, завезеш мене у чуду, там буквально пацанам сидіти.